Yo, what's up, everybody? How we doing? How we living? Look, guys, this is going to be my first pre-recorded YouTube video. All right, so comment down below, point out all the things that I'm doing wrong. Can't be that hard. Also, while you're there, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Look, football season is here. We had a great weekend of college football last weekend, but we are getting excited for the NFL. And this is going to be my record predictor for every NFL team. All right, going into the season. There is no way I'm going to miss on any of these. I know ball, okay? I know ball. Anyways, I am pumped for the NFL season. I got my Lions jersey on. Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs changed his number, so this is, kind of out of date, whatever. Let's get into it, though. We're going to predict the records for every NFL team. Like I said, we might look back on this and see, see what mistakes we made after the season. But this is just regular season wins, and we're going to go from there, okay? So let's get into this, all right? We got the tier list predictor right here. All right, we got 15 to 17 wins. These are your elite teams, right? These are your Super Bowl contenders, all that kind of stuff. Might not have any surprises there. We'll see. 12 to 14 wins is your very good teams. Again, playoff teams that are going to have very good seasons. 9 to 11. These are going to be kind of the bubble teams on playoff. Usually if you win 10 to 11 games, you're going to make the playoffs. 9, you kind of get in that line, right? I mean, you might not, depending on what division you're in, depending on what conference you're in, etc. 5 to 8 wins. Probably not making the playoffs. You're not making the playoffs. You're going to have a losing record. These are teams that maybe, are young or, trying to figure things out. Or they're just ass, whatever. And 1 to 4, you're ass. Rebuilding, or you're just ass. All right, we'll see here. All right, let's start out. Well, hang on. We're going to put the Lions last. We're going to do the Lions last. All right. Let's look at the first team here. 49ers. We're starting off with an interesting one. 49ers are an interesting team going into this year. They had a season from hell last year. All right. Not a great one. A lot of injuries. A lot of things go wrong for them. The season before, they went to, you know what I mean? I think the stat is they either don't make the playoff or they make the NFC Championship. That's like that. Those are your only options for the 49ers. I think this is going to be a bounce back year for them. I think they still have very, very good players. They have Christian McCaffrey still. They have Brock Purdy, who just got paid. I think he's going to perform well. I'm not one of those guys. I'm kind of indifferent with Brock Purdy. A lot of people think he sucks. A lot of people think he's elite. I'm kind of right in the middle with him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I think a lot of teams would kill to have a guy like Brock Purdy. He does have some great weapons around him, but that's not really no fault of his own. I think that's a great. Those weapons are Christian McCaffrey. They got my boy George Kittle, who's going to be a beast no matter what. Oh man, this is tough. Their defense is going to be interesting because their defense really struggled last year, and they got Robert Saleh back, which will help tremendously, I think. And of course, you got Shanahan calling the plays, who's gonna dial it up no matter who he's got. So I'm gonna go. Dude, I think they get more than 11 wins. I think they do. I really do. I think they get around 12. I think that's my prediction with the 49ers. I think they're going to have a huge bounce back year and be a Super Bowl contender. They have great veterans on that. They got Fred Warner, like I said, George Kittle already. They got veteran leadership, Trent Williams, Boomer Sooner. So I think this is a good year for them. So I'm going to go 12 to 14 with the 49ers, and they're going to be a Super Bowl contender, like I said. Arizona Cardinals. Now, speaking of Boomer Sooner, Kyler Murray, I just don't know about Kyler. He's been in the league for a while now. He's shown flashes of just brilliance, but it's just not consistent enough. Same division as the 49ers. I think they're going to struggle. I think this division is going to be sneaky good. I think the Rams are the other one that, I'll get to them, but I think they're going to be really good. I just don't see it for the Cardinals. I see them in this 5 to 8 range. I think they have the potential to get up to that 8-9 if Kyler has that consistency season. I mean, that's what they've been waiting for him for so long. It's just tough. I don't know. It's tough to get there. Marvin Harrison Jr., hopefully he can have a better sophomore year. His rookie year wasn't, it was good, not great, not, didn't do much with a lot of other rookie receivers performing quite well. So we'll see. I think this is a really make or break year for Kyler specifically in terms of, can he last in the NFL or can he not? We'll see. I'm going to go 5-8 though. I really don't think that they're going to, like I said, tough division. I think they're going to struggle. Let's move on. Okay, first AFC team, Baltimore Ravens. I mean, it's one of these two with the Ravens. Their team is so good. When they have number 8 back there, they're going to be in this range no matter what. They're going to be Super Bowl contenders immediately. I love Lamar Jackson. I think he has so much to prove when he gets in that playoffs to take that next step, to get to the championship game, to get to the Super Bowl. I think he has all the talent around him. This team is so good. Their organization is fantastic. John Harbaugh is the man. That any player who goes to this organization, all they do is rave about how professional and how well put together the organization is from top to bottom. So I'm going to go. See, 14 wins will give them what? 14-3. Do they put them? I think I'm going here. I think they're going to be at that 14 range, though. So I'm going to put them ahead of the 49. Do I do that? Yeah, I can do that. Why not? But Ravens, Super Bowl contender, like I said, always. And you got King Henry back there doing his thing. Another great team. Man, we're starting to have some good teams here. Buffalo Bills. Again, it's one of these two. It's going to be hard to put someone in this top tier. I might have to change the wins. Well, maybe I'll do it. I got to do it. I got to put someone up there. I got to stop being a little bitch. Okay, so Buffalo, Josh Allen, reigning MVP. Again, when you have Josh Allen, when you have a quarterback like that playing for your team, he's gonna make everyone better around him. You're instantly going to be playoff contenders, if not Super Bowl contenders. I think this team is going to be very good. Same boat. Same boat as Lamar Jackson. I know they're very different in terms of the performance in the playoffs. I think a lot of people blame Lamar. I'm sure Lamar puts a lot of blame on himself for specific playoff performances, and Josh Allen always seemingly performs very well in the playoffs, but they just come up short, and it's usually to the Kansas City Chiefs. But again, the results are the same though. They can't get to that next step. They can't get to the AFC Championship game. They can't get to the Super Bowl. So same boat as Lamar Jackson. Does he take the next step? I don't know. I like him in this spot. I think they might get 14 wins just like the Ravens. I'm pretty sure they play early on. I don't know if it's week 1 or what, but these teams will probably meet in the playoffs, and it'll be a great game. But I think they both have tremendous seasons. I might honestly put one of them up there. We'll see. Carolina. All right, chat. All right, guys. I think Carolina is going to be sneaky this year. I really do. And that might be horrible. This might be the first one that's going to come back to bite me in the ass. I think in that division is always bad. You got Tampa Bay. You got the New Orleans Saints, who might be the worst team in the league this year. And you got oh no. Can't think of it right now. Look, that division is bad. It's always bad. Tampa Bay is always the team to beat in that division. I think they're going to be sneaky. I really do, because I love the way Bryce Young finished the year. He was really good. He was really good to finish the year, and it was after he got benched and went back in. I think he needed that extra motivation. Oh my gosh, this might come, but I think they're going to be sneaky competitive in that division. Now, I don't think it goes any further than that. I don't think they're going to be like playoff. They could be a playoff team when it's all said and done, but Falcons are the other one in that division. That's who I was forgetting. But I do think they can make some noise. I really do. I might be 8. I'm debating between 8 and 9 because 9 gets you to that, like I said, that fringe kind of wild card potential playoff. And then in that division, if the division is really bad, it could win you that division and get you that automatic spot. I'm going to go here, but it's going to be on the 8 side. I think they might win 8-9 games. I really do. And again, this might be the first one that bites me in the ass. Chicago Bears. Oh, man. This team is so hard to predict because, man, do they have all the ingredients? They got all the ingredients for Caleb Williams and that franchise to have a good year. They really do. So I'm leaning here first off. It's just a matter of it's all on Caleb Williams. Their defense really struggled last year, especially the back half of the year, really stopping the run. They could not stop the run at all. And in that division with Detroit, with Green Bay, with Minnesota, if you can't stop the run, you're not going to win many games. So they have work to do, but they have Ben Johnson, which still breaks my heart. And I love Ben Johnson so much, but I don't really want him to succeed. Why would I want him to succeed? In division, it's sad, but I think this team is better. It's all about Caleb though. Like he showed flashes last year. He definitely did. Like people tend to forget that and just focus on the bad. There was a lot of bad. Don't get me wrong, a lot of bad. He made some really poor decisions, but I think with Ben Johnson's coaching and his play calling, he will undoubtedly improve. I'm going to go 9-11 here. And I think 10 games would be an incredible season for them because that means they're probably in the playoffs. They're either in the playoffs or competing. That means they had a good year, but I'm leaning towards the 8-9 range, but I'm going to go 9 for now. But, we'll see. Caleb could make huge strides. He really could. All right, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, the most attractive guy in the NFL. Says my wife, not me. By the way, my wife can't stop talking about him. It's a plague in our household. The Joe Burrow plague. I'm sure everyone is going through it. In my opinion, was the MVP last year. I think he was. I think if they make the playoffs, I think he wins MVP hands down. I think it'd be crazy not to give him MVP if they made the playoffs. I understand why you don't give it to him. Look, Josh and Lamar both had incredible seasons, but the season he had last year was unbelievable. And I think Cincinnati is going to be better. I think they played them in preseason games this year because the biggest thing about Cincinnati every year is their start. They start off so slow. Even the year they went to the Super Bowl, they had a bad start. Like they cannot keep doing that. Like it puts them in such an immediate hole that they have to dig out of. So I think they get over that. I don't know if they start out like 5-0, but I think they maybe start out with a 3-2 record instead of a 1-4 or whatever it was. I'm leaning towards like 11 wins here. They'll be in front of Chicago, but I'm thinking 10-11 wins here. Tough division. That division's always tough. You have Baltimore. I think is always going to be is right now king in that division. Pittsburgh, who we'll get to them, and then Cleveland will probably suck. But the division's always tough. That cold weather up there, but I think Joe Burrow and the guys. I think their defense gets better, and I think they're in that 9, 10, 11. I think 10, 11. I don't think they get down to the 9 way. God, that would be so disappointing. Zach Taylor. Shout out Zach Taylor. Norman High graduate. I graduated from that high school as well. Shout out Zach Taylor. So I really want them to do well. And Joe Burrow's the man. He's talked about it a lot in our household, but, I understand it. Cleveland Browns. This might be my first. This team their quarterback room is unbelievable. Like it is so hilarious with Joe Flacco, who just got named starter, which I think is the correct decision. Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, and you still have Deshaun Watson on your roster, by the way. People forget that eventually he's gonna come back from his Achilles injury and mix things up. Oh god, it just cracks me up to even think about that. But I too many cooks in the kitchen, too much shit going on. Stefanski is a really good coach, but this organization is so sad, such a shithole. Them and the Lions were always like competing for the worst organization in the NFL, but obviously the Lions, now they're the best, clearly. I think they're going to go one. I think they're in the 1-4 range. I really do. I think they're going to be ass. I think they're going to be ass. I think they're going to be like 4-13 or something. That's kind of my prediction with Cleveland. I don't think they're going to be good. Oh man, the star, America's team. Shout out Tim the Tap Man. Look, first of all, fuck Jerry Jones for trading Michael Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. We all know how I feel about that. This team is so ridiculous. Jerry Jones is the most ridiculous fucking person in the NFL, and he loves it. He likes it that way. Oh my God. This team is going to be ass, though. Like, they're going to be here. I think they're going to put up a lot of points. I think their offense will actually be pretty good. I think if George Pickens, I can't even really say that with a straight face. George Pickens went from perhaps the most stable franchise ever and with one of the most stable and professional head coaches ever, a guy who kept Antonio Brown in check, among others, and he goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Like, I understand on paper, people like, this is a good thing. You have a second option for Dak. CD will get some one-on-one opportunities. That's all good. That's all well and good. But if you were to tell me that George Pickens is not even on this team anymore come week 7 or 8, that wouldn't surprise me. He is a crazy person. He's a nutcase. And when you go, again, you go from maybe the most stable franchise in the league to the most unstable because of Jerry Jones, and you have Dak Prescott, who himself is not unstable, but you have so many cameras on you. You have that freaking star on the side of your helmet. You have the self-proclaimed America's team, which you're not anymore. Stop fooling anybody. They're not going to be good. They're in a tough division. That division is tough. Like, it used to be. Like, you have Philly, you have Washington, and you have the Giants, who I'm going to get to the Giants, but they're going to be better. That defensive line is going to be nasty. Like, they're going to struggle. And I think they're I think they're going to score points. I think their offense will be good. But it's not going to be enough. It's really not. I think their defense is really, really going to struggle. And I think they're in the 5 to 8 range here. I might rearrange these once I get to the end in terms of like within the tiers. Denver Broncos. I got a couple really good friends who are Broncos fans. I think they're going to be good. I think Bo Nix will be good. Sean Payton's offense is very complex, but he knows how to get quarterbacks up to speed. Another year in the system will do nothing but help Bo Nix. The defense is filthy. I mean, the defense will win them several games this year. Like, even if Bo Nix maybe has a bit of a sophomore slump or whatever, and he struggles a little bit, I don't think it's going to matter. I think the defense will keep them in almost every game. I think a lot of people are predicting them to not just be a playoff team, but make that next step to kind of scare some people. And especially in their own division with Kansas City, people are predicting them to maybe scare them from that division. I'm not quite there yet on Denver. I think they will be a playoff team. I think they'll be in this range. I think they'll be a 10 and 11 win team and be a very good team. I really do. I think their defense will be outstanding, and that will take you far. I have a little bit of concerns about the running game. I know they got J.K. Dobbins, but he struggles to stay healthy. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see. How, a lot of it's going to depend on Bo Nix, obviously. Like, that seems obvious because he's a quarterback and whatever. But like, does he take that next step with Sean Payton's offense, or does he not? Like, a lot of that, and again, like, not having the running game will be interesting, and maybe they will, but I just don't see it right now. I think they'll be in that range. I don't think they can quite be there yet, but we'll see. Philly, I think. I mean, this is still the best team in the league. It just is. They have the best roster, top to bottom. I think people who say that they don't are kidding themselves. I think this team is very, very good. The reason why I'm going to put them in that S tier, that top tier, that 15 to 17, because I just think when you have the best offensive line in the league, combined with the best running back, but even taking Saquon out of the equation here, people don't understand how important offensive line is. The casual fans usually don't. Like, that offensive line will take them so far. It will win them so many games single-handedly. And you combine that with an amazing defensive line, with a great defense over. I just don't see a world in which this team is not competing for another Super Bowl, is not one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league. I know they went to the Super Bowl and then had a really down year the year after. But that's where players like Saquon Barkley come into mix, because they didn't have a Saquon Barkley. That's obviously the year where they, fell apart in hilarious fashion. But I think this team will be so good. They lost a few guys, I think, on defense, but I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be really, really good, if not the best team in the league in the regular season. I'm not saying that they're going to repeat as Super Bowl champs, but I mean, that wouldn't shock me. Obviously. All right, moving on. Atlanta Falcons. This team is so interesting. Some of the best skill positions in the league. Bijan Robinson is a fucking baller. So good. Michael Penix. Do we believe in Michael Penix? That's kind of the question with Atlanta. Easy division. I think they'll be right in the mix in that division, but I think they'll be around Carolina. I think Carolina and Atlanta I think they'll be battling each other around that 8 to 9 win area. I just don't see it, though. I'll be honest. Like, there's just something about Atlanta that I just can't get on board with. And like last year with Cook Cousins, that experiment was bad. I mean, he's almost 40 years old and he was recovering from an Achilles. I get it. Like, you probably needed way more time for him to recover properly. And Michael Penix is such an unknown. Like, he had a few starts last year, but he showed some really good things. His deep ball accuracy is incredible, and I think that will help them. But man, I don't see it. There's just something about that team that I can't get there. So I'm gonna go. I think they're gonna be with Carolina in that similar like 8 to 9 win range there. I will go 8 for now, though. All right, moving on. Green Bay. Fucking stupid cheeseheads, man. I can't. I hate them so much more now that they got Micah Parsons. It just pisses me off, because the reason it pisses me off is because they're going to be up here, and it's going to piss me off. The one thing I will say, and this might be cope as a Lions fan, we said this similar thing about Green Bay last year. A lot of people said it. A lot of people were penciling them in as Super Bowl contenders, that they're going to be very good, that they might win that division, that Detroit's probably not going to go back-to-back, all that kind of shit. Jordan Love, I know he was hurt, but if you look at the games where he was hurt and he did not play, what did they do? They won those games with Malik. Matt LaFleur is an incredible play caller, one of the best in the league. Jordan Love, the games where he was healthy and played, he was not very good. He turned the ball over far too often. I think he almost led the league in interceptions, and he didn't play like 4 or 5 games. It was a crazy stat, but like that is the one thing that is kind of a question mark for me with them. I think they have an amazing run game with Josh Jacobs. Their defense is so good now with Micah Parsons. I just, and again, they have Matt LaFleur, who will keep them in games because of how good of a play caller he is. But Jordan Love has got to stop turning the ball. Well, actually, he should keep doing it because fuck the Packers. But I do think they're going to be in this 11-12. I'm going to put them at 12. I hope it's like over here with Cleveland, but I don't know. I look, if Jordan Love plays like he was supposed to this last year and the way he did the previous year, that last 10 game stretch, he was incredible. If he could play like that, they're a Super Bowl contender instantly because of Michael Parsons, because of the rest of the supporting cast they have around him. But I'm going to put him here. I'm going to put him at the bottom of this because I see them as like 12 wins here, which is a shit ton and very good. So, but again, that Jordan Love question mark for me, this is exactly what we were saying last year about how good they were going into the year, and they really underperformed, specifically Jordan Love. So we'll see. Houston's an interesting one because CJ Stroud took a big step back last year, had that sophomore slump, that classic. A lot of it wasn't him. I think he was the most sacked quarterback last year. His offensive line was very bad. And then they get rid of Laramie Tunsil, which is kind of interesting. I didn't really. We'll see. So I don't know. Can they protect CJ Stroud? I mean, they have an easy division, maybe the worst division in football. I don't know, man. I think they're going to be at like 9 wins. That's my prediction for Houston. I'm actually going to the Rams-Houston game opening weekend in LA. So that will be a fun little game to go to, and I'll get a good idea. Their defense is going to be elite, though. That's the one thing about Houston, is their defense is going to be very good, which, again, will keep them in a lot of games. But their offense might struggle because somebody who is key for that offense and will be missing the first few weeks is Joe Mixon. We don't know. Like, there has been nothing about Joe, about the extent of how much time he's going to miss, like what's going on. And they just announced that I think they didn't take him off the physically unable to perform list, the PUP list. So he has to miss the first 4 weeks or something like that. But that's kind of a weird, real question mark that nobody knows what's going on with Joe. So I think they're going to be around 9 wins here. And I think their offense is going to struggle. I think CJ is going to, I don't know. I just don't see the offensive line making that big of a leap, and I think they're going to struggle. Indianapolis, old D. Jones. He's back. Beat out AR-15 for the starting position. I think they're going to be here. I think they have an easy division. They're in the same one as Houston. I see it like 5 wins. I really do. I just don't believe in Daniel Jones. I don't know why. There's nothing that I have seen from him that would lead me to believe him. And yeah, that's kind of it for Indianapolis. Indianapolis is kind of a stale team. I don't really know. Again, it's Daniel Jones. Now, Anthony Richardson being in there makes them a hell of a lot more interesting. It might make them worse because he's a project, and he has really struggled. But yeah, I don't see it. I mean, they could even be down here. I would be shocked if they were like vying for a playoff spot. But I mean, you never know. Again, with Houston maybe having a down year, they could, and Daniel Jones somehow being reinvented, maybe a Sam Darnold situation. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible, and they have some decent players. They have some good young players. They have some good wide receivers. Josh Downs, Pittman is good. And they got what's his face from Penn State, Tyler Warren, tight end. He'll be a solid. And they have Jonathan Taylor. I just named some pretty damn good players. So but again, it's Daniel Jones. I don't think I can trust him. No. Okay, Jacksonville. It's the same division. I'm just rattling this division off. Trying Trevor Lawrence, can we make that next step? Right? I mean, that's the biggest question mark. We've been waiting for him to make that next step for his whole career, ever since Clemson, and he hasn't really done it. Like, he's been good, but he hasn't been good enough to take this Jacksonville team to that next level. Can he do it? It all depends on him. I think he's there. I think them in Houston, though, are going to be right around that 9-1 team, vying for that division. That's kind of my prediction for that. I don't know. Like, Jacksonville is just, again, it's all about Trevor Lawrence. Like, can he do it? I mean, they have the new head coach, Liam Cohen, and he's a great play caller. He did awesome things with Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. So maybe, I mean, that's definitely going to help. And it should help. So maybe they can jump at. I might be convincing myself to put them ahead of Houston. I don't really know anything about their defense, though. And I do know Houston's defense is going to be very good. So I'm going to leave that there for now. All right, Kansas City. I think they're going to be here. I think they're going to be like 13, 14 wins. I think they're going to win that division again. I just, like, guys, I'm never going to doubt Patrick Mahomes. Like, people can talk about these other quarterbacks all they want, but as long as Patrick Mahomes is playing in the NFL, he's the best quarterback in the NFL. He just is. Like, I know people don't want to hear that, and they want to hear one of these younger guys be better than him. But, like, if tomorrow you ask me that you can pick any quarterback in the league, who you picking? I'm picking Patrick Mahomes every fucking time. Every time I'm picking him. I just am. Like, and people want to shit on him all they want about last year's Super Bowl. We're talking about the Super Bowl, which he went to 3 straight, won 2 of them. Like, he still beat the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Like, come on, guys. Like, Kansas City, and they're probably going to be better. They're going to get Rashee Rice back after he serves his suspension, and they'll be better after that. Travis Kelce seems very focused on this year. I think he'll be better than last year. I think they'll be a Super Bowl contender. I think they'll be right around. I mean, they might even be in this range. They'll be right with Buffalo and Baltimore in terms of record, I think. But, I mean, again, I will never doubt Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Spagnuolo. I like their defense is going to be good again. I'm going to put them right in between those two. The San Diego. Oh, I'll always remember San Diego. I used to live in San Diego, and they're the San Diego Chargers to me. The LA Chargers, whatever they're called now. Old Jim Harbaugh. It's an interesting team because they have another quarterback who needs to take the next step. Kind of in line with Trevor Lawrence. I think he's played better than Trevor Lawrence thus far in their careers, but again, he has to take the next step. I think Jim will get that out of him. I think they kind of surprised people with how good they were last year, and in more time with Harbaugh. And Harbaugh's a fantastic coach. I'm not gonna say he's not, but where I think I see them here, I think I see them around Cincinnati's record. This division is going to be very, very good, very difficult. Those 3 teams, and then the Raiders might be sneaky good with Pete Carroll, but like, that's going to be a very tough division. Could end up being the best division in football at the end of the year. I think them and the NFC North will be competing for that spot, but I think they'll be around Cincinnati. I think they'll be 10, 11 wins. I think they'll have a very good year. 3 teams from that division could make the playoffs this year with Denver. I need to put Denver ahead of Chicago, 100p. So I think they'll be around here. Yeah. I just don't know. I mean, the receivers were a problem last year. Justin Herbert really had no one to throw to. Like, I don't know if, he gets the Madison beer bump either. You know what I mean? That beer belly, who knows? Like, he might play better, might play worse, who knows? But I think he does need to take that next step, though. I think, like I said, he's with that Trevor Lawrence kind of bubble there where they've been good, but they need to be better. And I think he's got all the tools to do it. So we'll see. I'm not going to put him ahead of Cincinnati just yet. All right, the Rams. The team I will see in person week 1 against Houston. This team. So this is and I want to put this disclaimer on this video, on this pick. This is all contingent on Matthew Stafford's health. And that kind of applies to all these teams. Obviously, if their quarterback goes down, then we're null and voiding these. Void. But Stafford's really the only one going into the season where his health is a concern, because he has barely practiced this entire camp, hasn't had a snap in the preseason because of his back. And let's remember, he's an old man. He's 36, 37. Back issues, not a great recipe. I think they already said he is playing week 1. But that still doesn't we'll see how he looks. I mean, without any training camp, without any reps, that's an issue, even for a guy like Stafford, who's been around for a long time. I love Stafford, by the way. I was devastated whenever he got traded from the Lions. Now it's great. I mean, both teams benefited from that, but he is one of my favorite quarterbacks, and I love Stafford. And this team is going to be very, very good. This is the point I wanted to get to. They're going to be very, very good if Stafford stays healthy, because people forget they were one throw away, one play away from beating Philadelphia at Philly last year in the snow in the playoffs and going to that Super Bowl. They were very good down the stretch last year, and this team is going to be better. Their defensive line is sick. They got Verse. They got all those young guys who are going to be really good. They got Kyron Williams, who's a baller at running back, and they got Devontae Adams. Right? They got Devontae Adams to help with. Oh my God, Puka Nacua. God, mind blank there for a second. This team's going to be good. Really good if Stafford could stay healthy. So I'm going to put them in this range. I think they're going to be that good. I think them in San Francisco is going to be a battle for that division. I think I like them more than San Francisco. Again, this is all contingent on Stafford's health, but I think I like them more than San Francisco in that division at this point. But I think it'll be a battle. The did it again. The Vegas Raiders. This team is so interesting, because they have Pete Carroll, they have Geno Smith, Tom Brady calling a lot of shots. I don't know, man. I don't know what to really make. They got Ashton Genty, who's I think is going to be a baller. I think this team is going to be sneaky good. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. They might be at the top of this tier here, maybe at 8 wins. But guys, Pete Carroll is a good fucking coach. He's a really good coach, and this dude does not age. I mean, he is 70,000 years old, but he acts like he's 20. Still has all the energy in the world. That fucking gum he chews. That fucking gum he chews on the sideline is absurd. But I don't know. I might even put him in this tier. I think I am, actually. I think that might be better than Jacksonville, maybe even Houston. God, that might even be better than Chicago. Fuck. Am I about to put him in this tier? I think I am. I think I'm going to put him right there, right in the middle of this 9 to 11 tier. I think they're going to be at 9 wins and be better than these 3 teams. I think they're going to surprise people. I really do. And again, 9 wins may not make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be flirting with it, and I think they're going to ruin some teams. I think they might ruin maybe a Denver down the stretch, or maybe even a Kansas City down the stretch, and definitely maybe the Chargers as well. So that division will be very interesting with these 4 teams. That AFC West will be stacked. They will be good. But I think the Raiders are going to surprise some people. That's my kind of surprise team. Dolphins. Oh, God. This might not be a surprise, but I think some people might be, denying this, but this is going to be a surprise team for people the other way. I think they're going to be in this range. I really do. I think they might be ahead of Cleveland, maybe. But I think this team is a fucking dumpster fire. I think they are in a terrible spot down there. Tua, who knows how many games he's going to last. Tyreek Hill wants out. They don't have anyone. This team is a mess. A mess. And I feel like Like McDaniels is a good coach. He's a good play caller, but I don't think he can handle a mess like this. I really don't. I think they're really going to struggle. And I think they're like 3-4 wins. I'm not kidding. I think this team is going to suck. So that's kind of, again, I don't know if that's much of a surprise. I think people are catching on because of the offseason they've had. It's just been a disaster. Mike McDaniel was talking about how he's, excited about that he's one day closer to death or whatever the fuck he said. Like, what are we talking about? I mean, we got problems down there in Miami. All right, Minnesota. Is this the first? No, I did Green Bay. And Chicago. Okay, another NFC North team. Another division rival for my Lions. Look, Minnesota. Kevin O'Connell is fucking awesome. He is such a good play caller. He is so impressive. It doesn't matter. People forget. I mean, maybe they don't forget, but people need to remember the guys that he has had playing quarterback for him, and the production he has gotten out of him is fucking astounding. So while a lot of people, me included, have a lot of question marks with JJ McCarthy coming off an injury, and he's still basically a rookie. I mean, a year in that system, just learning it obviously will help. Like, obviously, he's more than a rookie at this point, but in terms of just knowledge. But I don't know, man. Like, is JJ McCarthy that good? I mean, he's the best receiver in the league. Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in the league. I still believe that. Jamar Chase is number 2, but the fact that we're on the same, at the same school. And trust me, I experienced that firsthand. Being an OU fan, that playoff game was something else. Something else that was. Man, Minnesota's tough to predict. I think they're going to be in here. I think they're going to be good. Again, Kevin O'Connell is just so impressive. His play calling is so good. Like, it's really hard to go against him, even, no matter who he has at quarterback. But I think JJ can only take him so far. I don't know how good JJ is. And a lot of that is unknown because of how little he had to do at Michigan. That's the problem that a lot of people have with JJ McCarthy. It's like, dude, what do we do here? Like, he just handed the ball off and they played amazing defense. He had to make like a few throws a game, and that's it. So tough to judge. I think they're going to be around the Denver. I think they're going to be better than Las Vegas, but I think they're going to be right here, maybe at 10 wins right there, kind of around with Denver. New England. I think New England is definitely on the right path. Mike Vrabel is just an awesome coach. Tennessee getting rid of him was just such a mistake. Drake May showed great signs last year, and think about Drake May too. Like, people want to talk about like Caleb's offensive line and CJ Stroud's offense. Drake May had a horrible offensive line and still played very well at times. So like, that's I got to give him props for that. But I don't think they're there yet. I think they're in this area. I think they're probably win like 7, maybe 8 games. I think 6, 7 is more realistic. I think. I kind of want to put them above the. I'm gonna rearrange this tier. This tier is kind of a mess in terms of order, but I think New England's going to be. I just think they need a couple more years. I think they don't have enough pieces around Drake May yet, especially like skill positions, but I think they'll get there. But they're definitely on the right trajectory, and they'll be better. That Mike Vrabel, the fact that he's like breaking up fights and like getting bloody noses, he's such a fucking badass, and I love Mike Vrabel. What an awesome hire. Oh, the Saints. Let's just move on. Spencer Rattler's your starting quarterback. Let's move on. They're going to be the worst team in the league. I fully believe that. So later. Just tank and get Arch Manning, or I mean, maybe not Arch Manning anymore. Maybe get Garrett Nussmeier from LSU. That would work out well. Like, just let's start looking at 2026. All right. New York Giants. This team is interesting. I think they're going to be in here, but I think they're going to be a very feisty team. I think they're going to ruin some seasons, specifically maybe in that division with like Washington or maybe Philly or something. I think they're going to take some games off some good teams. Their defensive line is filthy. Maybe the best in the league, actually. They have a very, very good defensive line. That is going to scare people. That is going to make some teams work. I think their quarterback situation is the weakest part. I think they came out today and said Russell Wilson is starting, which I think is a mistake, and I think it won't last long. I think Jackson Dart will get the nod very quickly. I think you know what you got with Russell Wilson, and it ain't good. Like, he's not good, and he hasn't been good in like 4 years. Like, let's stop pretending. I think they should have just given the nod to Jackson Dart. I mean, Daboll's playing for is coaching for his job. I get it, but in that same vein, like, they're probably going to start like 1-4, and they're going to be like, oh shit. I mean, let's just push the rookie button. And it's like, why not just start doing that? Why not just start with it? Because I don't know. I would much rather start Jameis. Jameis is awesome. He's so much fun. He might keep you in games. He might lose you the game. Who knows? But that's the beauty of Jameis Winston. He's going to get the boys ready though in that locker room. But I think they go the Jackson Dart route early, after Russell Wilson doesn't do anything for them. So, but again, they're not going to be that good. Malik Neighbors is a baller, and their defensive line, like I said, is good. I think they're going to be a nuisance to some of these teams above them when they play them. I think they're going to be a tough win. They might not get a lot of wins, but they're going to be a tough win for other people. Oh, the New York Jets. Oh, man, this franchise is so sad. Old Brick. Old Woody. Yes, fucking naming Toy Story characters. But it's here. Justin Fields it's kind of, you know what you're going to get with Justin Fields. Like, people are like, oh, he was with Chicago. That's a terrible franchise. He was in a bad situation. Okay, but he goes to the Jets, which is worse. Like, come on. Like, I think they're going to be here. I think they'll be in like 4 wins. I think they're going to be better than all the rest of these teams because they do have some weapons and they have a decent defense, but it's just. And Aaron Glenn is a good coach. Like, obviously, he's a Lions guy, Lions D coordinator last year, but I think it's just going to take time. I think he is a culture changer kind of a coach, but again, it's going to take time. And you got to have a quarterback in this league, guys. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, if you want to take anything from this video, and that's like, you got to have a quarterback. That's why the Giants are down here. That's why the Colts are down here. That's why the Jets are down here. Like, that's obviously the Saints. Like, and you look at these teams and they all have elite quarterbacks like that. That's what I mean. Like, you got to have a quarterback to go far in this league. Even if you have other pieces around that quarterback position, if he ain't the guy, then you're not going to go far. It's just, speak of the devil. Speaking of the quarterback position, this Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so you know they're going to be in here. I mean, that's a given. No matter who's playing quarterback, Mike Tomlin will get you here. How good is Aaron Rodgers going to be at 40 billion years old? I just don't. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't think he's good anymore. He is so old, and he came off a bad injury. I just don't see it, guys. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the mood is like up there in Pittsburgh, like how they feel about it. I'm sure some of them think he's going to be the greatest thing ever. I don't see it. One of the main things that made Aaron Rodgers so great is his mobility in the pocket and immediately outside of it. And obviously his ability to throw on the run too, combined with that. That's not there anymore. Like, he can't do that anymore after the injury and after Father Time. Like, I don't care how many ayahuasca trips you go on. He's such a weirdo, but like, I don't buy it. But again, Mike Tomlin will get you here with that defense and with that coaching. He'll get you here. But I think they're going to be around. I think they'll probably be better than Vegas, maybe 9 wins, and maybe flirting with the playoffs. But I don't see them getting up here with these teams. Even these teams at the front of this line here. Seattle. I think Seattle's going to be bad. I think they're going to struggle. I think Sam Darnold is going to come back to earth a little bit. I think a lot of that was, I'm not saying Sam Darnold didn't have something to do with their success last year at Minnesota, but I think a lot of it was Kevin O'Connell. A lot of it was having Justin Jefferson and those weapons, Jordan Addison as well. Like, he doesn't have those weapons there, and he's going to struggle. Good division. I think they're going to be around here. I think they'll probably be around like 6-7 wins. I think they're going to have a tough time. K9 Kenneth Walker is a baller. He's very good, but he's just not in a great situation there. I just think Sam, like I said, I think he's going to come back to earth a little bit. I don't know. They don't have the things around them. Who knows? Anyways, yeah, that division's too tough too. Like I don't know. It's not going to be there for Sam at Seattle. I think they're going to struggle. Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is the best team in their division. I think they'll win it again. I think they'll be around here. I think they'll be better than Minnesota too. I think they'll be there. Baker, Boomer Sooner. I love Baker. He's just a baller, man. He's just a gamer. And Mike Evans is going to ball out, get you 1,000 yards. I think they're going to be good. I really do. They're going to put up points as long as their defense can be better. With Todd Bowles at the helm, hey, come on, Todd. Like, we got to get him better. Hey, he's a great defensive coordinator too, so I think he'll get him better, and I think they'll be around this. I think they'll win that division and be around like 10 wins or so and be a playoff team for sure. All right. Tennessee Titans with Cam Ward, rookie quarterback, number 1 overall pick. Not a whole lot around them. They have Tony Pollard's a good running back. I mean, it's definitely a rebuilding type of team. They're going to be around here, but I think Cam Ward is going to be I think he's going to be pretty good. Like, I think it's going to be a little bit better than people think. I think it's going to get him a little bit more wins. I'm putting above Dallas because I think Dallas is just a shit show. I think they're going to be around here, though. Maybe like 7, 8, maybe 7 wins. 7 kind of sounds like too much. Maybe 5, 6 wins. Maybe 6 wins. We'll put them there. I think they'll be around Dallas's level, though. Washington, the football team, the Commanders, they got to get a logo, man. Like, just get a logo. If you want to stay the Commanders, fine, but get a damn logo. Jane Daniels, I mean, he's a baller. I know a lot of people think that maybe he might have a year similar than CJ Stroud because he had that big sophomore slump when CJ Stroud had an amazing rookie year, just like Jaden Daniels did. I think that won't happen. A large part of it is because of Jaden Daniels' running ability. CJ Stroud does not have that. He is just so fucking dynamic, man. Like, I think they could be like 12 wins here, go 12-5. If their defense is better, I think they will be. Dan Quinn, just another year under his system, getting his guys in there, I think they'll be much better. And it will take some pressure off of Jaden. I think that's the key there, because with some of their wins last year, I mean, he had to be unbelievable to win some of those games. And I think that is just not sustainable. Maybe he's just that good, but I think the defense will be a little bit better, and that will take the pressure off of Jaden. I'm almost tempted to put him there, actually. And the more I'm talking through this, because I know for a fact, shout out PFT, but like, I know that they have a very difficult schedule, especially compared to last year. Their schedule last year was very favorable, and I think they have a much more difficult. So even though they might be better, their record might not exactly show it. I think maybe 11 wins. 12. I'm going to go 11. 12 is a lot of wins. 12-5 is a fucking good record. I think I'm going to go 11, and I think they'll be second in that division to Philly. All right. What everyone's been waiting for, I know. The Detroit fucking Lions. My team. I love this team. I fucking love Dan Campbell so much. I think a lot of people have... Whoa. I think a lot of people have so many question marks with this team. A lot of people on the outside are trying to question this team because they lost both their coordinators. I just don't see it. I don't see a lot of people predicting them to kind of be the team that slides down the board a lot in terms of wins, in terms of record. I just don't see it. And I know that might be, it is biased. I understand that. But replacing Ben, I think replacing Aaron Glenn is no problem. I think our defense will be better than last year, surely based on the fact that we will be much healthier, right? Like, if we can stay healthy, our defense will be better, bar none. Like, that is an easy thing. And especially, we promoted our linebackers coach to defensive coordinator. He knows the system. The system's not going to change, so that's a huge plus for the players. So I think that won't be an issue. I'm not worried about the defense whatsoever. Losing Ben Johnson hurts. I'm not trying to say it doesn't. I like the hire. He was with Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell before he went to Denver, in which he was now with Sean Payton, which Dan Campbell is also a Sean Payton coaching tree guy. I like the hire. I think our offense will be slightly worse just because of the Ben Johnson factor. I think the biggest thing I'm worried about that happened in the offseason is Frank Ragnow retiring, which he was arguably the best center in the league, maybe certainly top 3, top 5. I think replacing him will be difficult. The division is so tough. Our schedule is much harder than it was last year because we are now paired. Last year we were paired with the AFC South, which was dog shit, right? We played Houston, Jacksonville, Indy, and Tennessee. That's an easy. But now we're paired with the AFC North, so we have to play Cincinnati, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. And I think the other NFC pairing that we have division wise is the NFC East, meaning we have to play Philly, we have to play Washington, New York, and the Cowboys. That's not a hard. I think we're going into the year. I think we're the second hardest schedule in the league, in the entire league. So that will hurt. We won 15 games last year. We're not going to be there, just surely based on the guys we lost. That includes Ben Johnson, and then schedule. I think we'll be here. I think we'll be better than LA. I think we'll be right there. I think we'll be 12, 13 wins, winning, competing, if not winning the NFC North again. We start out Green Bay week 1. That'll be a fucking awesome game, a huge game to start the year. I'm so excited. We still have so many good players. Our offense will be fine. Like, people seem to be down on this team for whatever reason, but we still have so many good players. But most importantly, we have Dan fucking Campbell still. Dan Campbell is fucking awesome. I think people understood it at the time, but are now presenting this challenge to him, like replacing the coordinators and all that kind of stuff, which is a challenge. I'm not trying to say it isn't, but people don't understand that him turning around the Detroit Lions franchise is one of the most incredible and accomplished coaching feats in all of sports. And that's not an exaggeration. People don't understand how difficult of a job that he accomplished. Like, I can't get over how impressive he is and how much I love Dan Campbell. Like, as long as he is there in the locker rooms with the guy, like, it doesn't matter who we have at coordinator. I think we're going to be just fine. When you have the same core players that we have returning, I don't see the slide. I mean, we might go from the best offense in the league like we were last year to what, number 5? And I think our defense will be better. We get Hutch back. We get all the guys back that were hurt. I think this team is going to be just fine. Super Bowl contenders, winning that NFC North and competing for that number 1 seed with all these with Philly, with Green Bay, maybe LA. So that is my initial take on these teams. I really like the way this panned out here in terms of order. I'm not going to change any of that, the 9-11 ones. This one might be switched up a little bit. Damn, I don't know. I think I'm going to go there. These 3 are almost interchangeable in terms of record. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to mess with these 3, and I like this order right here. I was maybe switching up those 2. I don't know. I'm going to keep that. This one's kind of a mess, though. I think the top of this tier, actually, it's not as bad as I thought. I think the bottom of this tier will be like New England, though. Indy will be there. New York. Oh, I think New York's going to be better than Seattle. I really do. Dallas. Fuck Dallas. I think Tennessee's going to be right there. I don't know if I believe in Arizona. I might put them below Dallas. I'm not putting Dallas above these two teams, though. I'm really not. I don't care. And then this tier, I mean, who fucking cares? But I think Cleveland will be better than Miami. I think Miami's going to be terrible. I think they have a horrible year. That's it right there, though. That's it. That's my tier list. I'm sticking to it. I only have one team in the top tier, which is fine. I mean, I think that's a good. I think it's good. There's no way I'm wrong about any of these. There's just no way. I'm a genius, a football genius. I can't wait to look back at this. I'm going to be so wrong about this shit. Biggest takeaway from this, I think the Carolina pick is probably my biggest like hot take. I think they're going to be competing for that division. I'm putting them ahead of Falcons. The more I'm saying this, fuck it. I'm doubling down. I think they go 8-9 wins. They might even be up there. And then I think Miami down here. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think they're going to be fucking garbage. I think that team is a mess. But everything else seems pretty standard. I think everything else. I think Raiders are another sneaky good team that I think might be at like that 9-win mark. Chicago, I think, will be around the 9-win mark. And again, I think all these 5 teams, these 5 teams right here, I think will all be around 9 wins. And then we start to get to the double digits when we hit Minnesota, and then we get up there. So I feel good about it. I'm going to keep it there. No changes. That's it, chat. Comment, like down below. Guys, this is my first pre-recorded YouTube video. Please give it some love, man. I appreciate all you who watch it, who comment, who hang out, just like the video, subscribe to the channel. I am always live on Twitch. I play Overwatch primarily, but I play some other games as well. But this was a different kind of video I wanted to put out there because I love football. I'm so glad it's back. I love the NFL especially. But this is it, guys. Take a look, take a picture, and we can revisit this later after the season. But there's no way. I mean, this is genius. I didn't get one wrong. I know I didn't. See you guys. Love you guys.